All right. Thank you all for your patience and thank you for coming again today. It's our pleasure to introduce the recipient of the 2021 Marion Chamber of Commerce's Lift Lead Transformational Leadership Award. This is the 5th year that the Marion Chamber of Commerce has bestowed this award. Past recipients include Tina Carpenter of the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Illinois, who's with us today, back here in the back. We also have given this award to Mary Moreland of Moreland Bishop McDonald's and Loretta Graham of the Girl Scouts of Southern Illinois, as well as Laura Lindsay of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
The criteria for the award is someone who goes above and beyond what is required in service of others. They are committed to lifting and building people. This person engages other people in his or her vision. They lead right where they are, at home, at work, and in their community. Last, they are making a difference and inspiring others to make a difference.
This year's winner is John Markley, Regional Chief Executive Officer of Centerstone. John is responsible for the leadership and operation of the largest community-based behavioral health care provider in Southern Illinois. Under his leadership, Centerstone has grown from an agency primarily serving 2 counties to an organization expanding across 8 Southern Illinois counties and has services across 5 other states.
In addition, John has served on several national and statewide boards and is currently a member of several state and national associations. All the while, he stays busy managing, encouraging, and developing a staff of 700 plus employees, who in turn are helping 14,000 plus community members. Help us welcome John Markley, this year's 2021 Lift the Lead Transformational Leadership Award recipient.
So, I want to thank you. Let me get through this. One of my 12 quotes, the best leaders are humble enough to realize their victories depend on their people. No leader can ever achieve anything great or long-lasting alone. Teamwork goes hand in hand with leadership. Leadership is about people and for the people. So, when I think about this whole opportunity, I think of thank yous. And for me, God's grace has been more than abundant toward me. And the people that I walk alongside, and I just can't tell you how much that means to me, the grace of God. And his willingness to allow me to do the things that I've done. And then secondly, my wife Tracy. Tracy and I have been married 38 years, and we have 4 children. Micah and Michaela, his wife, daughter Hannah, and my daughter Liz, and my daughter Mary, and their husbands. And we also have a pretty big deal in our family this year. We just celebrated my granddaughter's first birthday, Violet. And so that was something we did last week. But thank you, Tracy, for your friendship, for your love. Grace, it's been life-changing for me. It is one of the reasons I'm here. I also want to thank Russ. Russ, I wrote the name of your team members down, but for you and your team, for Tim, for Amy, for Jared, for Karen, for Daniel, for Mindy and Janet, the co-chairs that are out here. I want to thank them for this honor. My board chair, Carol Zwick, is here. And it just is really a tremendous confirmation of the support that we have all had as a team. For Carol to be here and to make that effort, I thank her so much for that. Her leadership is wonderful, and to walk alongside her and the 14 members that volunteer for our board is truly a blessing and an encouragement, and it's an honor to do that with this team. They have been so effective and so aggressive in trying to provide what we have as our care, is delivering care that changes people's lives. And our board has taken that to heart, and over the bottom 27 counties of Illinois has really done an excellent job at doing that and expanding that. I want to thank Floyd Cunningham as a previous CEO in the role when Floyd was a strong mentor for me, and Dr. David Melby is here, and David has been a mentor for me as well. And so the leadership, we're talking about leadership today, that leadership has been foundational for me in many ways. And so I really appreciate that, David, and thank you so much for the time and the effort that you have contributed in so many ways to my life. Also, I have the mayors for Mayor Steve Bertini and Marion, Mike Henry and Carbondale, and then Mike Absher. And I've talked with Mike, and Mike and I have worked together on a lot of things. But in passing, I've said to Mike how much I appreciate the sacrifices that he has made in serving our city. I don't know if you all know that, but I don't want to embarrass Mike, but I will tell you that he's personally been an inspiration to me in his service to the city and his service to the chamber and what he's done. It really is a commitment for him and a call for him, and he's doing that very well. And it inspires, I'm sure, not only me, but many other leaders in the city. So I want to thank that for Mike. And in addition to that, I coached football, or I helped walk alongside some of the coaches in football for a few years when my son was playing. And I shared with Carrie how foundational that was to me. And Carrie was, I don't know, is Carrie still here? There he is, right, yeah. So I shared with Carrie how foundational that was for me to be able to participate in that. And that was kind of a project he let me come on, let me help in any way I could. I don't think he's doing that anymore after the experience he had with me. I don't know. I do remember we were in a game, and I don't remember if my son was playing or not, but I don't know, some call that I maybe advice to the ref, I didn't think it was the right call. But anyway, the ref went to Carrie and said, tell your coaches to be quiet. Carrie looks over, I'm like, what? But anyway, it was something that during that time, if you walk alongside Carrie, you know that Carrie had the interest of the kids in mind. And a lot of people that I would talk to when they talked about Carrie Martin, they said, you know what, Carrie's a great coach, but he's a better teacher. And really, that was really a confirmation of how much he loved the kids, how much he was concerned about the kids. And Carrie was, if something needed to be done, it was whether it's a star player or whether somebody who didn't play at all, he was the same to each one and showed respect and really encouraged and spoke into those kids' life. And that was why I think not only I wanted to be a part of that, but there were so many other guys and people that participated in that wanted to be a part of that. So thank you, Carrie, for what you've done. And then lastly, I had Jim Sloan here. Jim Sloan was in my pastor for 26 years before he moved to Belleville. Now he's back. But Jim's preaching and teaching have been very encouraging to me, and been a leader that has been inspiring to me in many ways, like Carrie and like Mike Absher. I won't be long here. I will tell you that on my team that I serve, Janet Heath, Ann Tyree, Stacy Overturf, Kim Fleck, and then of course Dallas. And I'm not sure I even need to mention Dallas's last name, you just say Dallas. And but that team is, some of them I've worked with for 37 years. And they have been not only solid, but just like not only friends, but strong support in the areas that they serve. And that team to me is what is a recognition today when I talk about this stuff. It's really an endorsement of the team. And of course, Holly, my assistant, is back there, and some of my team there are on the table. They have a strong team behind them. And so what we've been able to do, and somewhat successfully, but as we move on, we've got a lot of work to do, as you know, with what's going on in our pandemic, but it's with those strong teams and the commitment of those teams we've talked about today that have really meant so much, not only to the effort that we put forward, but to what's going on in this community. It's really contributed to the success. Another quote by Maxwell is, leadership is everything. And so Maxwell is like leadership is everything, personal growth, leadership, and coaching. The coaching tool, if you guys aren't using the coaching tool, you need to think about that for your company. One of the things, I was sitting back about 8 years ago, we were over in Carbondale at a little grassy, we had a retreat for 2 days, and it was my first introduction to the coaching tool. And the coaching tool is people, if you give permission for people to coach you, John, can I give you some coaching? And you get permission for that, and the suggestions that they give to you can be helpful or not helpful. They could be true or not true, right? So we were gonna go through a session. We had 13 people. We were gonna go through a session where we coached everybody coached one person at the table, and so you'd have 12 people coaching one person for 20 minutes. And so I thought, oh yeah, this will be fun. That'll be great. We'll do that. We did that, and when it came time to do the coaching for me, it's the first time we use a tool now in our culture. It came time to do the coaching for me, it was brutal. It was really brutal. Not because of how people said it. What they said, the reason it was brutal was that I knew what they were saying was true. I just didn't know they knew I knew it. I just didn't know that they saw me doing those things and how I was leading in some of the areas. And when I say it was brutal, coaching is always shared in the sense of, and my wife has picked up on this school, and it's been a challenge because she'll say, John, can I give you some coaching on things? So when your wife says, when you come and give some coaching on things, it's, I want to support you. I want you to be successful. I want your team to be successful. So this may help. Okay, so yeah, tell me a little bit more about that. So that's the kind of way that the coaching tool has really been a professional tool for me to grow in the position that I'm in, and really cause you to be somewhat humble and transparent, but sometimes the word's overused, but it really opens up an opportunity and a culture for people to speak to you in a way that, like she had mentioned, the guy said, can I be honest with you? Please be honest with me, because as we move forward, the only way we can get this done is if we're transparent and we support one another. And I know that you're not out in the meeting after the meeting talking about me, rather than telling me right here what I need to hear. And so it's really helpful, and these people love you, these people trust you. So that was an experience with the coaching tool that if you're not using it and don't have a mentor to do that, I would suggest that you do that strongly. But the irony of all of this, and as I think about this, I used to think that if somebody was in this position, they knew everything about leadership, right? What I figured out as I got older, and some young people are here I know, and one of the things that stuck with me, I worked at Dairy Queen when I was in high school, and my best friend's dad owned it. And one night I was out cleaning the trash cans we were closing, we were getting all ready to do some things, and he come up to me and he saw what I was doing, he goes, John, he goes, I'm going to tell you, someday you're going to be the boss of a big agency. You're going to be, you're going to be doing this, and just giving some accolades. He said, "I like what you do," and he was just telling me all of the things that we were doing at work that were really helpful to him, and that he saw that as taking initiative, all of those sort of things. And I never forgot that. And here I am today, exactly what he said I was. I don't know. I have no idea, how that pans out. But I will tell you that as you speak into young people's lives, that makes a difference to people. It encourages people in a way that you'll never know, and it sticks with them. So that has stuck with me for many, many years, and I would encourage you as you do that. I said, I thought people that sit up here knew a lot about leadership. I think what's important about leadership, and you hear something of this today, is when you realize what you don't know and the resources you have into your team, and then you begin to lean into your team for the things that you know that they do better than you do. That really is something that I've benefited from in the coaching tool. And when I hear them speak to me, we work together more strongly because we're transparent with one another, we're honest with one another, we know we've got each other's back. And it's took me 38 years of marriage to figure that out too. So anyway, so the truth is, as we kind of work through this, trying to see this so I can do this. I've been gifted with a God who loves me in more than abundance, and people that have shown love to me in more than abundance. And they've been very generous at sharing that love to me and that support to me. And it's hard to imagine, having that support. But if you're, one of the quotes Maxwell makes, it says, if you're a leader, the true measure of your success is not getting people to work. It's not getting people to work hard. It's getting people to work hard together. That takes commitment. Those of you who surrounded me and supported me in this process would know that the puzzle, you would see the whole picture of the puzzle. You could see the people that are behind me. My wife Tracy, our team, I see this as a significant endorsement of them. They have been very, very supportive, and it's something that, as I stand up here, I really stand under false pretenses in a way, because it really isn't the full story. And the full story, if you've ever worked on a team, you know that everybody plays a part of that. And so I'm very, very blessed to have done that with a group of people that love me. My heart really is overwhelmed with the opportunity that I've had to work with those in the schools, in our hospitals, and in other community partners so that we can provide and allow for this to be a place where families and friends and others could grow and thrive together. We've been faithful in building on the work of those that have come before us, and let's be intent on the exchange that we make as we work forward for those behind us. The best leaders are humble enough to realize their victories depend on their people. That's John Maxwell. The measure of a leader is not the number of people who serve, not the number of people they serve, but the number of people the measure of a leader is not the number of people who serve them, but who he serves. So once again, I want to thank you for the honor, and it is truly my pleasure to walk alongside of you in Southern Illinois and in this community, and to make it a better place to live. Thank you.
Folks, we're ready for our lunch break, and you're just going to go out the door and turn to the right to find your lunch here today. Let's get back together in the room at 1 o'clock. We've got spotlight speakers Kendall Boyson and Allison Hassler, and you know